Shabbat Shalom, Gamar Chatima Tova, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the Beth Israel Rabbi. As you can see behind me, I have 3 different shofarot. And the truth is that we are in the middle of what is known as the Aseret Yemei HaTshuva, the 10 days of repentance, or the time between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. This is really a time period of the shofar. Over the course of Rosh Hashanah, we blew the shofar a number of times. And on Yom Kippur, we finished the holiday with the blowing of the shofar. Even before Rosh Hashanah, for the entire month of Elul, the last month of the year leading up to the brand new year, on every day except for the last day of Elul, and on Shabbat, we blew the shofar each and every morning. There used to be a custom, according to the rabbis, of blowing the shofar when one first woke up on Rosh Hashanah, and also blowing the shofar as part of the Shacharit service during the Rosh Hashanah service. However, eventually the rabbis decided to cut out the tradition of blowing the shofar upon waking up and during the Shacharit service, and instead moved it to the Torah service and to the Musaf service, the latter parts of the morning service. According to the rabbis, this originally happened because there was a fear that the Roman authorities who were in power in the land of Israel would think that the blowing of the shofar was a call to arms and rebellion. And therefore, by moving the blowing of the shofar to later in the service, it would be obvious and clear to the Roman authorities and their soldiers that what was taking place by the blowing of the shofar had nothing to do with military, but was related to religion and to more of a spiritual call. The rabbis also suggest that maybe that wasn't the only reason, that maybe the blowing of the shofar wasn't actually connected to our concern for pekuach nefesh, for saving lives, which of course is extremely important, but actually to another practical issue, which is, believe it or not, Jews were coming late to synagogue. I know that we find that hard to believe today because we know that, of course, everyone's always on time to synagogue. But at that point, that wasn't always true. And so the rabbis may have decided that they would move the blowing of the shofar to a latter part of the service so that even those who came late would be able to hear it. But there's another suggestion as well, which is that not only did they move the blowing of the shofar for the adults who were coming late, but also maybe because young families with children weren't able to make it for the beginning of services and only able to make it for the Torah service and Musaf service. And therefore, already literally thousands of years ago, they decided to move the shofar blowing to a latter part of the service so that our children would be able to hear it. Literally, for thousands of years, the blowing of the shofar has been an aspect of our religious culture that has engaged our young, brought them closer to Judaism as a Jewish tradition. The blowing of the shofar is something that we all can connect with, something that reminds us of our Judaism and, of course, also reminds us of our childhood. The blowing of the shofar has always been important and will continue to be an important part of Judaism and helping us connect with our Jewish heritage. I want to encourage you to come this coming Shabbat morning when I continue to talk about the history, the reason, and the purpose of shofar, and why it is that we blow the shofar, the way we blow the shofar, and its particular notes. Shabbat Shalom, Gamar Chatima Tova.